Hey, this is Professor Perez from Saddleback College. Today, we're going to do some subtraction problems. And some of these subtractions do require that we have to borrow. Oh, what fun! And of course, we cannot get started without our student of the semester, and that's Charlie. He better be ready. Yeah, you ready to go, Charlie?
Well, yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Huh?
You got your abacus, right? All right.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and enter this first number. Here it comes. 68,495. Okay? So let's get started here. In our ones column, we have how many ones, Charlie?
5.
5. So we'll go ahead and record that, move our ones bead to the 5. Very nice. Now, in our tens column, we have 9 of those. So we'll go ahead and record that, move our tens bead to the 9. There we go. In our hundreds column, we have a 4. So we'll go ahead and record that. And now we'll move our hundreds bead to the 4. Oh, what fun. Now, in our 1000s column, we have an 8. So we'll go ahead and enter that and move our 1000s bead to the 8. Very nice. Now, in our 10,000s column, we have a 6. So we'll go ahead and record that and move our bead to the 6, right up there. There it goes, Charlie. Okay, we're all set. So there's our number, 68,495. Okay, now from this number, we are going to subtract, but don't get scared, 61,453. Now this problem, we're just going to warm up with because there's no borrowing here. Okay, here we go, Charlie. In our ones column, we have 5 subtract 3, which is 2. 2, very nice. We'll go ahead and record that. In our tens column, we have a 9. If we subtract 5, we do get that 4. We'll go ahead and record that. In our 100s column, we have 4, Charlie, but we're going to subtract 4, which takes you to where?
0.
0. So we'll go ahead and put our 0 over there. Very nice. In our 1000s column, we have an 8. We're going to subtract 1. It becomes a 7, right? So we'll go ahead and record our 7. Now, notice, in our 10,000s column, Charlie, we have a 6. Well, if we subtract 6, we have 0. So we don't necessarily put a 0 up there. You could if you wanted to. But our answer is just 7,042. Okay, now that we're warmed up, let's get to the tougher problems. So here we go, Charlie. Here it comes. 368,495. That's the number you're going to enter into your abacus. Let me see that one more time. I just like saying it. 368,495. Okay, Charlie, here we go. How many ones do we have?
5.
A 5, so we'll go ahead and record that. Move our ones bead to the 5. And now, how many tens do we have, Charlie? 9 of those. So we'll go ahead and move our tens, record our 9 in our tens column, and move our tens bead to the 9. Very nice. In our hundreds column, we have a 4. So we'll go ahead and record that, move our hundreds bead to the 4. Okay. In our 1000s column, we have an 8. So we'll go ahead and record that, move your 1000s bead to the 8. Very nice. In our 10,000s column, we have a 6. So we'll go ahead, record that over there, move your 10,000s bead to the 6. And finally, in our 100,000s column, we have a 3. So we'll go ahead, record that, and move our bead up to the 3. Whew. There's our number, 368,495. Okay, Charlie. From this number, we are going to subtract. Here it comes. 61,997. Oh, what fun. Okay, so Charlie, how many ones do we have? 5, and we're going to subtract 7, which means we have to do what? We have to do what? We have to borrow. That's right, Charlie. Now, we have to borrow from the tens. Now remember, a 10 is 10 ones, right? Okay, so we'll do our work on the abacus first, and then we'll show our work over there. Now, Charlie, how many tens do we have? 9. So we're going to borrow 1. Notice our tens bead becomes an 8. And notice our ones column, we have how many ones? 15.
15.
Well, how do you show this when you're writing down your work? Notice the 9 gets crossed out, it becomes an 8 because you borrowed one of those tens. And you carry the 1 over to the ones column, which is actually, you're carrying over a 10, which gives you 15 ones. Okay, Charlie, 15 subtract 7. We can do this. Let's do it in the abacus. Well, I know 15 subtract 5 will give me 10. And I subtract another 1, gives me 9. Subtract 1 more, gives me 8. So 15 subtract 7 is what, Charlie? 8. It's 8. Now you can check your answer real quick here. 8 plus 7 is 15. So you're kind of working in reverse there. Okay, now, how many tens do we have now, Charlie? 8. And we're trying to subtract how many? 9. So what does that mean?
You have to
We
borrow.
have to borrow. Okay, so now we're going to borrow from our hundreds column. We're going to borrow one of those hundreds. Now remember, 100 is 10 tens. Okay, Charlie, so look at our hundreds column. We have a 4. We're going to borrow 1. It becomes a 3. And notice we have 18 tens now, right? Okay, how do we show this on our paper? We cross out the 4, becomes a 3, and you carry that 10 over, and you have 18 tens now. So now we can do the subtraction in the tens column. Okay, Charlie, here we go. 18 subtract 9. Let's do it in the abacus. Well, I know 18 subtract 8 is 10. Subtract 1 more gives me that 9. So 18 subtract 9 is 9. And a quick check. 9 plus 9 is 18. There you go. Now, we're in the hundreds column, Charlie. How many hundreds do we have?
3.
We only have 3, and we have to subtract how many?
9.
9. So what does that mean we have to do? Once again,
Borrow.
we have to borrow. All right. So this time, we're going to borrow from our thousands column. Now, we have 8 of those 1,000s. We're going to borrow 1,000. Remember, 1,000 is 10 hundreds, okay? So here we go, Charlie. We're going to borrow from one of our thousands. It becomes a 7. And notice, in our hundreds column, we now have 13 of those. How do you show this on your work? Well, you cross out the 8, it becomes a 7, you carry the 1 over, and you have 13 hundreds. Okay, now, this is a little tricky on the abacus. We've got to do 13 subtract 9. So here we go. 13 subtract 9, well, I know if I take 13 subtract 3, that's 10. Subtract 1 more, that's 9. So we've moved 4 out of the required 9, and we have to move 5 more. And here we come, down to a 4. There we are. Now, 13 subtract 9 is a 4. And a quick check, 4 plus 9 is 13. Very nice, Charlie. Okay, where are we at now? We're in the 1,000s column, right? Okay, how many 1,000s do we have? 7, and we're trying to subtract how many? 1. So we don't have to borrow now. Darn. Okay, here we go. 7 subtract 1 is what, Charlie?
6.
That's a 6. So we'll go ahead and record that, right? And now, we're in our 10,000s column. We have 6 of those. We're going to subtract 6. So that takes you down to where, Charlie?
0.
Down to 0 right there. And we'll go ahead and record that. In our 100,000s column, we have a 3. We're not subtracting anything, so we just record it. And there's our answer, 306,498. Oh, what fun. Okay, now we got one more problem to do, and we're going to make it a tough one. Here we go, Charlie. Okay, here we go. Here comes the number. Get ready. Here it comes. 20,007. Let me say that one more time, because I like saying that. 20,007. Now, go ahead and write that down. Write it down twice, Charlie. Okay, let's see if you got it right. How many ones do we have?
7.
7, that's right. So we'll go ahead and record that. Move our ones bead to the 7. Okay, Charlie, how many 10s do we have?
We don't have any.
We don't have any. We still got to record, though. We got to put a 0 up there in place, right, for those 10s. There we go. Now, we don't have to move our bead, though. How many hundreds do we have?
0.
We don't have any of those either. We still got to put a 0 as a placeholder up there. And we'll go ahead and do that. There it is. Now, Charlie, how many 1,000s do we have?
We don't have any.
We don't have any of those. So we still got to put a placeholder. There it goes up there. We don't have to move our bead. Okay, finally, we're at our 10,000s column. Now, Charlie, how many 10,000s do we have?
That would be 2.
We have 2 of those. So we'll go ahead and record over there and move our 10,000s bead to the 2. There it is. Okay, we finally have our number entered. Now, from this number, we're going to subtract. Here it comes, Charlie. 12,384. There it is. Oh, this is going to be good.